welcome back to another video. So this week we are in Vancouver visiting family. My sister-in-law just had a baby last month and we have a new nephew, so we came out to visit. And for those of you who don't know, I used to live in Vancouver for about 7 years. We moved back to Ontario 3 years ago. But for today's video, I wanted to show you guys my favorite fabric stores in Vancouver. So I just picked up some donuts to bring over to Blackbird, and that's gonna be our first stop today. So let's go. So I've been shopping at Blackbird since I first started sewing. I lived in Vancouver when I started to sew, and a friend of mine introduced me to the world of garment sewing and told me about Blackbird, and I started buying from them and have been consistently buying from them since I started. They are the first site that I check when I'm looking for fabric, and they take up the majority of my stash because their fabrics are just such good quality and they have such interesting exclusive prints lately, and I've just never been disappointed by any of the fabrics that I've ever ordered from them. So Blackbird Fabrics is located in East Vancouver on Francis Street. It's actually really close to my old neighborhood, which was both good and bad because that meant I was always placing orders and picking them up. But I love Blackbird. Their fabrics are so good. Blackbird was founded by Caroline Somos in 2014, and she started it by selling fabrics out of her apartment. And she has now grown her business to a team of 20 and has this beautiful warehouse and so many incredible fabrics. Blackbird has also started to offer sewing patterns under BF Patterns, and they have a collection of 7 beautiful patterns now. And Caroline also co-hosts the Love to Sew podcast with Helen Wilkinson, which I absolutely love. I listened to their podcast almost every day when I first discovered it on my commute to work, and it is such a great listen, so definitely check it out if you haven't. I reached out to Blackbird before my trip just to see if I could get a little tour when I picked up my fabric order, and they so graciously said yes. And Alice, who is the media and marketing manager, took me around the warehouse, and I got to take a look at and touch all of the beautiful fabrics. And she told me a little bit about their operations and showed me some of their new fabrics. And it was just such a fun and cool experience to see a little bit of the behind the scenes of my favorite fabric store. So Blackbird is primarily online only, but I did hear that they are doing in-person shopping days soon. I think they have one coming up very soon at the end of October, and I believe that that is going to be a more regular thing from them. But since I don't live in Vancouver anymore, I order online, and they have such a great website. They have super detailed listings and helpful descriptions of their fabrics. They also have videos of the fabric and how it moves, which is so helpful when buying. You can now also purchase other indie designers' patterns on Blackbird's website, which is super cool. They have some awesome designers such as Fabric Godmother, Fortive, and Les Pralines. Les Pralines is run by another amazing Canadian pattern designer who I love to follow named Sarah Bernier. She has some really beautiful patterns, and you can find them all there as well. I just love Blackbird. I don't know how many times I can say it, but it is my favorite fabric store, and you should check it out if you haven't yet. I will show you what I got at Blackbird at the end, but next we're going to stop at Dressew. Dressew is one of the biggest fabric stores in Vancouver. I'm not sure, but I actually think it probably is the biggest one. And it was founded by Roger McKee in 1961, and it is located at 337 West Hastings Street. The store is absolutely massive. They have 3 floors totaling 27,000 square feet, and the main and lower floors are open to customers, and they carry an absolutely massive amount of stock. They have every kind of fabric you could imagine. They have a huge selection of quilting cottons with some of my favorite brands like Ruby Star Society, Dashwood Studios, Cotton and Steel, and Sevenberry. And they also stock some really lovely garment fabrics, and they have tons of specialty fabrics, including bridal fabrics, embellished meshes, leather, sequins, you name it. When there is a very specific fabric that I'm looking for, I always check their site because I know they will have what I need. They also carry all types of interfacing, every kind of notion you could ever want, specialty appliques, zippers, buttons, hardware, thread, elastic, cording, bias tape, Basically everything and anything you could need for sewing. But since it is so big, it can feel a little bit intimidating to shop there if you're a beginner, but I do find that the store is very well organized and the staff is really nice and helpful if you have questions. They started offering online ordering a couple years ago, I believe, and that is how I primarily order now since I don't live in Vancouver anymore, but definitely check out Dressew if you have not yet. So we are back home from Vancouver now. We got back about a week and a half ago. I'm going to show you all of the fabric that I got in Vancouver. Here it is. I actually didn't get that much, but it is a pretty substantial pile that I have here. I'm going to show you the things I got at Dressew first. So I got a bunch of notions. These things I just picked up as I was walking out because they had such good prices, but I got a couple packages of 1-inch D-rings. These were 25 cents, which is such a good deal. I use these for bags. This is the size that I use for the Nicola pouch. And I'm also going to make a layer cake bag purse, which is the pattern that I came out with earlier this year. It's like a little rectangular pouch with ruffles, and I really want to make it into a purse. And I think I'm going to use this embroidered tulle that I have from Blackbird for it. It's going to be like a little bit fancy. I have some bag chain to use for it. So those are for that. I got 2 packages of those. I cannot resist a good deal on a zipper. So I picked up this beige zipper. I think this is a 7-inch, 25 cents also. They had a big bin of 25-cent zippers, and I could have bought more, but I have a whole box of thrifted zippers. So I tried to show a little bit of restraint. The next thing I picked up was bias tape. I bought navy double fold bias tape. This was 99 cents, and I got 3 packages of this, and I got this to match the fabric that I bought. So I went into Dressew with a plan. I didn't want to just buy anything because I have quite a large fabric stash, which I think I'm going to show you guys soon because I just organized it all and I've never done like a sewing room tour. So I would like to do that when I finish cleaning the rest of my studio. Currently there are a lot of tote bins in here because I inherited a bunch of stuff from my aunt who recently moved to a retirement home. So she gave me all of her sewing stuff. So I'm in the process of organizing that. So it's a big mess, but I think I'm going to do that video soon. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know below. So anyways, my plan when I went into Dressew was to get quilting cotton because they have a really good selection of quilting cotton. They have like 3 or 4 entire rows of quilting cotton, maybe more. And they carry some really nice brands. They have Ruby Star Society. They have Rifle Paper Co. I'm not that familiar with all the brands because I have not quilted yet, but I am hoping to get into quilting this year. My goal actually for this year is to get a little bit more into quilting and embroidery because I have 2 embroidery machines now and I've only done a little bit of that, but quilting is number 1 on my list to learn. I picked up this really cute strawberry quilting cotton. It is a Ruby Star fabric and it is called Always in Season or Strawberry, but I really love the colors together. I love this like dark navy with the red and white strawberries. And my plan is to quilt it with this cream fabric, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do it with this one. I have to see how it looks. But I have been obsessed with this Cezanne jacket. I'll put a little picture of it here ever since I saw it. It's got this beautiful half triangle quilted motif on it. I actually think it has like the pinwheel quilt block on it. I'm not totally sure. But when I was in Vancouver, I actually saw a girl in indigo wearing this jacket and I took a sneaky photo of her, but it was gorgeous in real life. And I'm working on a quilt coat pattern next. That's my next pattern that I'm releasing. It's this jacket right here. I made that jacket almost a year ago, I think, and I posted a YouTube video on it and I got a lot of questions about the pattern and whether I'd release it. So that one is coming. I actually drafted the majority of the instructions on the plane ride over to Vancouver. So I'm just gonna make one more sample and then send it off to grading and finish the instructions and then hopefully get a tester call out in the next couple weeks. But that's what I wanna do. I wanna quilt these together in a patchwork and then cut the jacket pieces out of it and I'm gonna bind it with the navy blue binding. And I think it's just gonna be chef's kiss. But yeah, I haven't decided if I want to use this cream fabric because I feel like it's a little too plain, but we'll see once I start quilting it together. So that is everything that I bought at Dressew. And this is what I got from Blackbird. So Blackbird is primarily online only, but I saw on Instagram today that they announced that they're going to do some in-person shopping days. I don't know how frequently they're going to be doing them, but I think there's one coming up at the end of October. And when I was visiting the Blackbird Warehouse, Alice told me that they're going to be doing them more regularly, which is super cool and makes me a little bit sad that I don't live there anymore. But I had such a nice tour of the warehouse and Alice was so sweet, and it was really fun to get to see the behind the scenes of my favorite fabric store. So these are the things that I ordered prior to getting to Vancouver and picked up there during my tour. I got this block printed organic cotton, and I got 2.5 meters of it. It has a really pretty flower print on it. And this one is also going to be a quilt jacket. I haven't decided the lining for it, but probably like a blue fabric, and it won't be patchwork. It'll just be the block printed fabric on the outside. And then I got a couple of bottom weight fabrics. This one is a 6-ounce hemp and organic canvas stripe. And I got 2.5 meters of this. And for this one, I am planning to do a pair of pants. It's a little bit on the lighter side, so I am thinking a pair of elastic waist pants. My friend Kelsey on Instagram is releasing a barrel leg elastic waist pant soon, so I am thinking of using that pattern when she comes out with it. But Blackbird is also releasing a elastic waist barrel leg pant, which looked really cute when Caroline posted it, so I might use this for that as well. But I think those are both coming out in the new year, so I'm not going to use that for a little while. And then the next one I got is this lived in cotton twill in the color kelp. I really like this color for pants, and I got 2.5 meters of this. I've never used this fabric of theirs, but I wanted to give it a try. It's on the lighter side, but definitely a good weight for pants. I'm not sure the exact weight right now because it doesn't say on the tag, but I'm thinking of doing another pair of barrel leg pants. I have a pair of barrel leg pants in my head that I want to make, and I want them to have like a classic jean look on the front, waistband with a button and a fly, and the jeans pockets, but I want it to have a half elastic waistband at the back for comfort. And I'm thinking barrel leg, maybe wide leg, I'm not totally sure yet, but I feel like this fabric will be really, really nice for that. I started drafting a pattern, but haven't got all that far yet, but that is definitely on my list of fall and winter makes. And then the last fabric I have from Blackbird is this gorgeous neon lime colored quilted nylon. And this fabric I had been eyeing on their website because they launched this not too long ago, but it is in the color Lime Zest. But while I was having my tour, Alice mentioned like if I wanted to get any other fabric or if anything caught my eye, just to let her know, and she would cut me a piece. And I said I wanted to grab this one, and they so kindly gifted this to me, which was so, so sweet. But it is so fun. As you guys know, if you've been watching my videos and seeing my latest makes, I have been making a lot of garments in this color. Just love it, and it just makes me happy. It is so bright and fun. And again, I thought this would be really good as the quilt jacket. I want to do a longer version with this one, I think. And it's really nice that it's pre-quilted, so it's got the nylon on both sides, so I don't have to do any quilting. I would just have to sew it together and bind it. And I actually have some matching bias tape that I bought a little while ago, so I am really excited to use this one. And it's finally starting to get a little chillier here, and I think this will be a great jacket to have in my fall rotation. But before we wrap up this video, I just wanted to mention 2 other stores that I really love in Vancouver because they are great, and I didn't get a chance to visit them because we had so many family things going on. But one of them is Our Social Fabric, and Our Social Fabric is a special one because they are a non-profit fabric store, and they sell donated dead stock and fiber art supplies. And you know me, I love a sustainable fabric source and using secondhand items. So I really love their mission. Their fabrics and notions are also really affordable, and they're usually marked down around like 75% less than retail, which is really awesome. I've gotten some really great deals from Our Social Fabric, but they do have in-person shopping as well as online shopping. And they're also located in East Van. They're not too far from Blackbird Fabrics. And the last fabric store I'll mention is Spool of Thread, and that is also in East Van. I believe it's at Fraser and Kingsway, but that's the first fabric store that I think I ever went to when I started sewing. I bought linen there for my first pattern I ever sewed, which was a pair of trousers, And I remember that's where I also first heard about Helen's Closet. I heard some people talking about the Yanta overalls. That memory is just seared into my mind for some reason. But Spool of Thread is a really adorable store. They have a really large range of quilting cottons with so many colors and designs, and the store is just so beautifully organized. They also sell a lot of garment fabrics, but I haven't shopped there in a little bit, but they are a really lovely store. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I just wanted to give a special thank you to Blackbird for allowing me to come and have a little tour. It was such a treat to be able to see the fabrics in person. And if you guys have any quilting advice or resources for me, please let me know in the comments because I'm a little bit nervous to start. I don't know why, but it just feels scary to start something that's totally new to me. So any suggestions or advice would be super appreciated. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.